bullshit, and we're here to call it out. Real talk, raw truth, and plenty of spice. Welcome to She Who Thrives.
We're your hosts, Caitlin
Mindi
and Harrison.
And today we're just gonna, kind of do another little check-in, tell you about what's been going on in our lives lately, and Mom's going to give us a little recap of her Bahamas trip and tell us about something a little deeper that came out of that for her.
Sometimes when you go on vacation, you're just thinking about a tan, a reset, and when you come back, you have a whole life lesson that you've learned. So we're going to jump into that today.
I got the tan, I got the reset, and I got something deeper. So got all.
A trifecta.
Yeah. Life update for you guys.
My kids are finally better. Thank goodness.
Well, I don't think how sick they were because we skipped last week.
Yeah, that's true. Kids were very sick. Brixton especially, he had RSV, but he's finally doing really good. He's just being a little fart.
A lot of anxiety.
Yes. And our house is still in the process of being sold. We're under contract, but obviously there's a lot of things that play into that. So still kind of waiting on finals with that, but yeah, that's kind of my little update.
That's awesome. When are you guys supposed to close?
I think March 20th.
That's awesome.
So what, 19 days? It's March.
Fast. I know. I told her she needs to start packing up like all their winter stuff and, start packing because it comes fast.
Very fast, yeah.
What about you?
I feel like every time we do this, I don't have much. Everything that's going on in my life can't really be talked about, so. Kids are healthy.
Are you in the CIA?
Yes, I am.
Are you undercover government?
Hey, this is a little off topic. Well, Kate, actually finish your update first. Got any more updates?
Not really.
Hey, off topic?
Kind of.
We're going off topic?
Well, it's on topic, but not off. This morning I went on a walk with one of my friends and we were just chatting, and she is from Tucson, Arizona, which is where the Nancy Guthrie case is taking place. And I guess they wanted her, New York Times wanted to interview her dad because her dad used to be in the FBI. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That was it was like my dream job growing up, to be in the FBI. And now I'm so interested in that stuff. But I think that if I were to actually see crime scenes in real life, I'd be shitting bricks.
You guys watched The Night Agent, either of you?
Yes. We finished it.
There's no way I would be in the... Because I think that's probably truly how it works. Like when you just finished, maybe I'm having a stroke. The last season that just came out?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Bricks was sick.
the guy who is her father, that you think is so horrible, when they came to him and were like threatening him and her, the people they love, to get him to work for them, I think that's truly how it works. They blackmail you. Like I said, when we were talking about the whole Tyler Robinson thing, somebody comes to you and they say this is gonna happen. If you don't, you do for the people you love.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to be a cop and then a detective for so long, and they were just talking about it the other day. I'm like, no, I'm glad. We even had the other day, we got, like the Amber Alert type thing on your phone, and they were looking for a truck, and found out it was like 2.5 hours from here, but he had shot and killed a police officer. And then it was 24-hour manhunt and then shootout, and he killed a second police officer. It was so crazy, but I was like, I can't imagine if, being afraid to do a routine traffic stop and being shot.
Right. There was a shooting here last night.
There was?
Bar.
What bar?
I think it was behind Spiritual is what I saw. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure, but someone had posted what's going on at Times. Is it called Times No, it's not called Times Square. Is it?
No.
What's it called? Something Square. Square Place in St.
Well,
George.
Town Square.
Town Square.
Across.
Someone said, "What's going on at Town Square?" And there was a bunch of comments saying that there was a shooting behind Spiritual. So there isn't like news that have said that, but people said there was a shooting. So I don't know.
You want to update people on your high rocks?
I didn't get to do the high rocks because Rickson was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So it's actually funny. Sydney, the girl I was supposed to do it with today, she said, it's probably a blessing in disguise that we didn't do it because she had hurt her back a few weeks prior and she felt like she was getting better. But she said, like, even the morning of that we were supposed to do it, she's like, I even woke up and I was like, man, like, my back's a little bit tight. And she's like, it's probably good we didn't do it, which obviously your kids, you have to take care of your kids first. So,
Yeah.
but it would have been so fun.
What about you, mother?
So the Bahamas is beautiful. We stayed at a really nice resort. Water's amazing, crystal clear. I sent videos and stuff to the kids, but it was beautiful. We had a really good time. We went with Adams, some people from his work, and it was really good to, you always hear them talk about people from work, which obviously I know, the team that he's over, his development team, and I know the owners, but it's just good to get to know the other people, and really spend time and chat and get to know their lives a little better. But one day we went on an excursion with everyone, and I know you both have seen the swimming with the pigs, that they post all over Instagram and make it look like this little amazing thing. The second those pigs got in the water, they shit everywhere. And the biggest shits you've ever seen. It was disgusting. Yeah, I'm like running for beach, Adam's still standing in there. I'm like, the water's murky, get out. So gross. But we've fed stingrays, and stingrays have no teeth. They just like suck. Which one of the girls there had actually latched onto her thigh because you have to have your hands down on the bottom of the ocean floor. And then they come by. Actually, you put the meat right between your fingers and then they just sucked it out. Got her leg and it left a hickey so big on her leg. She said it hurt so bad because their suction is so hard. Yeah.
Wow.
Saw a bunch of sharks and it was a good time. But I came home. There was a few incidents that happened that just, not with me, with other people, but I just came home with so much more appreciation for my husband and the way he is, and just seeing people that are so insecure about multiple things in their life, especially when you're on a trip like that and you're all in swimming suits, It's so hard to be confident even when you look a certain way, and I mean, people that I'm like, I want to be like you. You're so on point with your nutrition and working out and, so disciplined, but even those type of people have certain insecurities about their bodies, which is really sad to me. I don't know. I came home and about all the time that I've been so insecure. I think the older I get, the more I realize that there isn't a perfection. And you can strive to obtain that. But what is that?
Mm-hmm.
That looks different for every person. And I just think if you waste your whole entire life being insecure, you lose out on so many moments that you could have had.
Yeah, because you're not really present in those moments.
No, you're so worried about everything, you know. Oh, if I bend over, this roll's going to show. Oh, if I run along the beach, my cellulite's going to bounce over. Just stupid. Do you really look at somebody else and be like,
She bent over,
yeah,
rolling out like that's normal.
yeah, you don't. Well, you know, we're so hard on ourselves, but the gratitude for my husband and the type of husband that he is, and never criticizing the way I looked, even if there was like a weight, you know, I've never been overweight, but you know, there's times in your life where you're like, I could stand to lose 5-10 pounds. I'm a little squishy.
Yeah.
He's never once made me feel less than about that. You know, I've never not felt beautiful by him. You know, he's never critiqued me on what I've eaten, or, you know, if I felt shitty and haven't gone to the gym. Like, there's never been that in my relationship. And I am so grateful for that, because I saw that.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
know,
say I wouldn't have even thought that was a thing. Because obviously I am in the same situation. Chasen doesn't do that to me and never has. And when she was telling me certain things, I keep like poking your boob. I was shocked that that's really a thing and that there's really women out there and probably men too who go through this. And you're just like, how sad is that? That there's literally someone like watching what you eat and being like, oh, you probably shouldn't eat that, or that has X amount of calories in it. Are you sure you want to eat that? Just little comments. And then there's even more extreme, really, where probably they don't allow it to happen.
yeah, just what?
I can imagine. I've seen, I don't know if it's a trend lately or what, but I've seen videos where people will be out with their significant other and they'll be at a restaurant, you know, going to order and be like, okay, I'm going to test so and so, and then look at him and be like, is it okay if I get the salad instead of fries this time, or fries instead of a salad, you know? And the men look at them like, why are you asking that? Yeah. Eat whatever you want to eat.
It's funny that you said that, because I'm I don't have a uterus, so I don't have a period, but I still have ovaries, so I still have like all the symptoms. So I can tell, you know, my boobs are super tender, I'm getting bloated, I'm emotional, you know, I can tell it's that time and I want to eat everything in sight. And so two nights ago, yeah, I said to Adam, let's go get something to eat. We had just gotten home from the Bahamas. I had cleaned out my fridge before we left. I didn't have anything to cook. Well, I probably did, but I had to like thaw it out and blah, blah, blah. So we went and got like a burger from this burger place that we like. And I was like, do you want to go get some chocolate? So we went to Rock and Chocolate Factory. And when we went in, he like ordered all this stuff for himself. And then there was a girl and a boy working behind the counter. And they're like, hey, what do you want? And I was like, nothing. He tells me I'm fat and he doesn't let me eat chocolate. And the guy started to laugh. And the guy's like, yeah, right. The boy did. And I was like,
Imagine that was true.
I
Oh my
think
gosh.
it does happen.
It does.
If I'm that way every month too,
Yeah.
like, I need your chocolate and I need it now. You can watch me eat it or you can eat it with me, but it's happening.
I will say, even Chasen's impressed by the amount of shit I can eat. The other night, he was like, oh my gosh, you're eating that? No, I'm going to eat it till I'm sick. I don't care. I'll worry about it in the morning.
I feel like your partner can either completely help with your confidence or completely break your confidence.
Totally.
Yeah, especially when you have certain insecurities and you don't feel great about something, depending on how they are about those things, you know, they could be your hype girl and, you know, make that 100 times better.
Yep.
Yeah, and even the other side of it too, though, there could also be something that you weren't insecure about before that a partner could be. insecure about now.
Yeah. And then you're like,
Ways, I mean, women, I'm sure, well, I know for a fact that can be just as bad to their partners as a
Mm-hmm. I also think though that people think that insecurities are only for people who are overweight or want to lose weight. It's never, you don't ever really hear people talking about, oh, this girl is insecure because she's too skinny,
yeah.
or you know what I mean? But I feel like they're just as important and people just don't even think of it being a thing. Like when I was in high school, that's exactly how I was. I was never overweight. I was always underweight and it was something I was so insecure about. Me and Jason started dating. I was like 90 something pounds soaking wet. So and it's funny because it's almost like you're laughed at if that's what you're insecure about is being skinny. You want
Mhm.
more, you want muscle, and it's like that's something dumb to be insecure about, but it's true. It's a huge insecurity for so many people.
Yeah.
Even had lost all that weight when you were going through all that stuff with Piper, and you were like, "Ugh, I'm so skinny. Like I don't like this," you know?
Yeah. I remember that too. Yeah. To be a partner or a person who is the one, criticizing you or telling you what to eat or not to eat, what must you think that you look like? Or, you must think that you're just
a god in your head.
creation. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine telling you. Yeah, you probably should eat some weight.
Or wear that. Don't wear that swimming suit because it shows your stretch marks or your cellulite or don't, anything. It's just
Can you imagine how you would feel? Like,
horrible.
I'll wear a t-shirt to the pool.
Right.
I will say one thing I am very grateful for, and I think it's because I don't take offense to this, but sometimes I'll put something on and Chase will be like, "Yeah, that's like not the most flattering," which I don't think is something rude to say. Like it's never something I own. If we're going shopping and I'm like, eh, and I usually agree. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not that, and it's not him critiquing my body. Or you can have a nice body and wear something that is not flattering, and it'd be like, "Ew, that is, not not it, girl."
Well, before we left, even I tried stuff on because I was like, okay, which are your top 5 favorites? Because I do want to know,
Yeah.
do you like this or do you not like this? I don't feel like that's a problem.
No.
It's
Right.
the physical,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. To feel like you're already critiquing yourself or judging yourself, and then to be constantly worried, like, oh, he's judging me too right now,
Exactly.
would just be, yeah. I can't imagine.
I feel like if anything, he's always been the person that's like, after I had both of the boys, I was like, oh my gosh, you just feel most, not all, but most women after they have a baby, those first couple of months, you're just like, ew, I feel chubby and just
Jiggly.
yes, and like you don't feel great, like you're sore. It's just not a fun time. And he always like, you literally just had a baby, like stop
Yeah.
being so hard on yourself about it.
Have either of you ever felt judged for your body?
I don't think so.
I don't
By
think so
myself.
either.
You're your hardest critic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you have?
Yeah, do you feel like you have?
I remember one time, I can't even remember exactly what the situation was, but it was somebody that I was dating, and you know how skinny I was. Like, I was freaking skinny back then. Skinny. But I remember him I don't know if he grabbed me right here. I can't remember what it was, but it just felt icky. Yeah, it gave me that feeling of what the hell?
Like silent judgment.
Yeah, you just grab that saying, I don't know. I mean, it was so shouldn't have been dating anyway. But
Well, while we're talking about it, that freaking episode on Love is Blind of him, like, basically telling her she didn't have a nice enough for him.
Yeah.
My jaw was on the floor the whole time. I told your mom, I'm like, if I was on national television and I like wasn't into someone, and I think you should be into someone's physical appearance when you're getting married. That's part of it. And I think that you're lying if you say you don't give a shit about what your partner looks like at all. Anyways, but I told her, I'm like, if I was in his shoes and I felt that way, I would not have said, I would have made up a lie and said anything else besides,
Yeah, Pilates every day. To tell somebody like, I'm into ballet dancers. Like, I want somebody that does Pilates every day. Well, number one, she told you before you proposed that she didn't do that and she wasn't going to.
well, I would have just simply been like, hey, like, I'm just really not feeling this. I'm really sorry. Like, I just can't continue this experience with you. I would not have divulged.
but the fact that that guy thought he was the shit enough to criticize her on that
How?
when it was like,
And she didn't look bad. And she was beautiful.
Big, I know. There have been so many other people on that show that have been like, you're not what I normally go for. Like, their physical attraction wasn't there and did it in so many different ways. But also I felt like the whole time leading up to that point, he was telling her like how beautiful she was and how perfect things were and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my gosh.
well, didn't you find it funny that he was like MIA for a day and a half? And then all of a sudden this comes out. Bro, I went and hooked up with some Pilates girl.
Sure.
That show cracks me up every time. I will say, I think it's possible to fall in love with people. I mean, there's people all the time that fall in love with someone online, even like robots. Like, people fall in love through like video games and stuff like that. I think it's 100% possible, but it just cracks me up every time. Like, when they're sobbing on TV and you're like, it's been a day. One day, like, oh, for real. I know I've never been in that situation. I never want to be in that situation, but it does make me crack up every time I watch it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even take this seriously.
What do you think about the difference versus like accountability versus control? Like, when is that line crossed?
So if I'm doing something like if I'm on a meal plan, if I'm doing 75 hard, if I'm doing something like that, or even if I just make a goal and share it with him because I want him to help me stay accountable for that, that is one thing. But for you just to come out and be like,
Can't skip the gym today.
don't eat that. Don't wake up at this hour. Don't skip the gym. Don't, that is the controlling.
Yeah.
If I'm asking you to help me with something, that's completely different.
Well, you can go about it in a nice way. Like, hey, babe, remember we set this goal. Let's get up and go. Nah, you need to get up and go because you lose 10 pounds, remember?
Right.
Your butt's jiggling. Yeah.
What does it feel like for you guys to feel safe in your body around someone?
I guess I don't understand that question fully.
I mean, I think I do, but
Like, what are the thoughts going through my head?
I don't know. I think that question is so hard because, like you were saying to me, even being around your family, which I know you feel safe with all of us, but you still have insecurities about your body, even when you're with the people that love you most. And
Yeah.
I never criticized your body.
yeah. And I was, like I told you, I was telling him, like, I want to be able to go to the pool and not feel like I have to walk around, trying to be sly with my hand in front of my stomach the whole time. But every time I do that, he's like, put your arm down, move your hand, stop covering it up. There's nothing wrong with you. But I feel like I have been so self-conscious, even as like a teenager, when I hit that growth spurt and got stretch marks in my butt. I don't know if you remember, but like after that, I want to go in a swimsuit anywhere without like swim shorts because I was so self-conscious about those. Even like being married the first time and then meeting him and he was like, "Oh, I saw the stretch marks in your butt." Like, I love that. You know? It's just, I don't know.
It's something though that your partner can help with, but I think that it's always going to be something that is like internal, like that you love yourself. And I don't think it's something that could ever happen overnight. And if someone says that they're lying, because you can't just have this insecurity that you've had for years and then be like, I'm not going to be insecure about it after today, and wake up with that and be gone, But I think it's something that you work on over time and become, comfortable with it.
And it's a long time too. I mean, I feel like I'm better now than I have ever been, even when my body has been the best it's ever been. When I got ready, well, you did too. I don't know how you felt, but I still, even when I looked that dialed in, I still had insecurities.
Yep, it's like you strive for perfection, right? Or you set this goal of perfection, but then okay, once you hit that, then what comes up
next?
Then there's got to be something higher. You know what I mean?
When you were talking about stretch marks, one of the girls that's on the trip, she is very dialed in. Like, she has a food scale that she took with her. She weighs all of her stuff. That's her thing, and she's done it for so long. That's just how she works. She goes to the gym. Her husband's fit as well. But, I told her, I'm like, I wish that I don't have that much dedication to do that with everything that I eat. If I want something not so good for you, I want it. But I told her, I was like, she looks so good. And she said to me, she said, yeah, but I have cellulite right here, and kind of grabbed her thigh. And she's like, I hate it. But she said her husband told her he loves that about her body because it makes her real.
Right.
So I'm like, even the things that we sometimes look at and go, ew.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like I said, like, I know my butt is softer right now than it's probably ever been, but guess what? My husband doesn't have a hard time latching onto it, grabbing all of those sides.
That's the thing too. Yeah, we can nitpick the smallest things or have these insecurities, and then they're like, "What are you talking about? I don't see that." Like,
Yeah.
It's actually so funny because this isn't, I wouldn't say it's like an insecurity, but I've always hated, which you guys are going to laugh because it's something that you don't have and you wouldn't think. But I have like, I don't think I have huge quads, but my
You
quads
had
are
good leg muscles that I would pay
yes,
for.
amazing.
I have these little tiny legs, and I've always hated how my legs kind of went like this. You know what I've noticed? Brixton has my legs exactly.
And I love them.
And I love them. I love his legs. And I'm like, isn't it crazy that something that I've like disliked about my body for so long is something that I passed down to my little boy? And when I look at him, I just love it. I'm like, he has the cutest little legs. And I'm like, those are my legs.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like having seen that in him has made me not dislike that about myself. I'm like, wow, like my little boy has my cute legs. I think a lot of people could see that, in their kids, little things like that.
Yeah, but also, if we had things that we hated so much about us and then passed them down to our kids and they just saw us talk about how much we hated it about ourselves, what would that make them think about themselves?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, if they're always like, oh, I hate my big nose. And then you're like, son, you have my nose.
He's like, well, mom thinks.
I actually told Jason the other day, I'm like, how did we get kids with the teeny tiniest little nose? He's like, just wait.
They'll grow.
They'll grow.
Even when we were laying on the beach one day, we got up to go somewhere and I picked up my towel and wrapped it around me. And I literally had it like right here, like right under my boots. And I was like, why do you have your towel so high? And I'm like, because he's like, really? So I can put those all down. Still at 51 and almost 52, it's still a work in progress, but I feel like I'm better than I have been. I'm really trying, and like I said, then when I see people with the same stuff, I don't look at it and be like, ew.
Gross. Yeah.
One of the girls there has, she had like really nice abs, and I'd said something to her about her abs, and she was like, yeah, but I have all these stretch marks. And I was like, you had babies,
Yeah.
like, how sad that we have to be insecure about that too.
Yeah.
I also think, yeah, it's important, if you have insecurities, you have things that you don't like about yourself, but to be like, well, you know what? I have, like you said, I have really awesome quad muscles. I have a really juicy booty. Like, I've worked really hard and I really like my triceps. Yes, I have stretch marks, but I had babies.
Right. And not everybody gets to do that.
Right.
I think something that's also helped me is remembering like people find confidence sexy. Like nothing is more of a turnoff, in my opinion, to a lot of people than a woman who is so insecure, which is so sad.
I keep bobbleheading, but I
would not like, and those people aren't insecure on purpose. Like it's not their fault that I mean, sometimes it is, but you know what I mean? And I think that sometimes confidence is just something that like you have to teach yourself how to do and how to be. I always think that all the time. I'm like, okay, like it's the sexiest thing that you can wear is your confidence.
Yep.
Take it till you make it, and eventually you'll become confident. I think even like after having kids, and I've looked better than I do right now in some parts of my life and whatever, but I think that I am far more confident now than I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And not like in my body, just other things too. Knowing what
Yeah.
to do, a wife,
You have to learn to.
friend.
Yeah, confidence isn't for everyone. It's just being okay with what you have,
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have to learn to appreciate where you're at.
Yep.
Well, there's always going to be someone that's more fit or has prettier hair or a smaller nose.
I think I've learned too to appreciate like every body type,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't is something that when I was younger, I did. I think in my head, that perfection was this one thing that I saw in my head, and that's what I appreciated in other people. Where now I can look at all different body types and find something so sexy about that, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, very curvy woman or a really bigger girl that has a poppin' booty or whatever it may be. I think now I don't know, my vision of what I don't even know how to explain what it is.
Beauty is not like one size fits all.
No.
No.
But I think when I was harder on myself and that I saw beauty was size.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I couldn't see that somebody was pretty or something like that, but it was more like body,
Mm-hmm.
where now it's not like that. I find all different body types beautiful for one reason or another.
Right.
And I'm also not afraid to tell people that. Actually, I stopped a lady in the grocery store the other day. Where the hell were we? Oh, we were in Costco. It was right before we left, and she had two kids in her car, and it was just her. And I walked by her, and I was like, "Yeah, that lady had the nicest box. She had jeans on, but she had the nicest pretty." And Adam happened looking for something, and I went by her again. So I grabbed her arm, and like, okay, I'm not saying this in a creepy way, but you have a very nice booty. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. She's like, these are new jeans. And she's like, I'm so glad to know that they might make my butt look good, but I'm like, I'm not afraid to throw compliments to people because especially women, it's so we've hit on that before, but I think women cannot get enough compliments from other women.
From women.
Right. We
I also think we as
men.
yeah, creepy. I also think we as women are kind of like, I don't want to say called to, but you almost have like this internal intuition when, I mean, like you can tell when somebody else needs that. And how many times do you go and say, your hair looks so pretty, or I love your shirt, or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, like you have no idea how much I needed that today, or I was feeling crappy, or I had a bad day, or
Like I said, I really tried to get to know a lot of people on this trip, and there was all different kinds of people on this trip. I mean, everything you can think of, but I made so many people that I would call friends, and I tried to be a hype girl on that trip. And we were sitting in the airport waiting. We had 3 flights back. And I think it was our first layover. Anyway, I was sitting by one of the girls that works in the office, and she was single. And, she's been married and had kids, but she's single now. And we had the photographer there with us who works for the company. So he had sent a Dropbox file of all the pictures. And we were going through the photos as we were sitting there. And she said to me, I hate seeing photos of myself. I said, why? And she said, I just feel so ugly, like everything about me, And I was like, do you know the first time I saw you that I told Adam, like, she has freaking amazing legs. And she's like, what? She did not believe me. She totally thought I was lying. And Adam was sitting across, where we were. And so I said to him, like, wait, what did I say about her the first time I met her? And he, said what I said. And I'm like, I'm not kidding you. Like, you have phenomenal legs. And she actually started to cry.
mm,
And like, it kind of broke my heart because I'm like, the fact that she really can look at herself and not find one thing that she loves about herself, that was so sad to me. She actually came up to Adam when they got back to work and said something, about me. And but I'm like, what did that? That was truth. It wasn't something I was lying about. But I think we can find that in every shift. Well, I'm not going to say everyone because there are some ugly humans inside and out. Mostly has to do with their inside, and even if they're attractive on the inside or on the outside, if you're ugly on the inside,
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you can find something, whether it's beautiful teeth, beautiful eyes, a beautiful smile, beautiful hair, beautiful leg, whatever, But I think, yeah, it's so easy to compliment people for inside stuff, but I think women also need to hear that about the outside stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And to be that hype girl and to make somebody feel better, why not?
Yeah. I know you don't have a daughter, Harrison. What do you think about, teaching daughters self-confidence
I think it goes,
both ways?
yeah. I think little boys need confidence just as much as little girls do.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a big part of that is what we model for our own kids, which I know I was horrible at with you. I think I was very good at telling you, I thought you were beautiful. I think you always knew that, you're the most beautiful. Yeah, I mean, my granddaughters are beautiful too, but your own daughter, like seeing your own daughter and watching them bloom, and there's nothing better than that, and nothing that you find more beautiful. And but I think I was a horrible role model on the body image confidence. I think I exude a lot of confidence. I mean, when people meet at the gym, they always say how intimidating I am, how they were afraid to talk to me, which I'm not like that at all. I'm a
No.
very
It's just so funny because every time I see you, anytime in between your set, you're chatting up. So
Everybody. Yeah.
like, but I see that. I see that if, you know, I think probably the third person to come up to me when we were working at a fitness culture and telling me after they got to know me how they were so afraid of me. And I was like, okay, I need to do something differently, obviously, so people don't think that, you know? So now I will be the first one to like, you know, I always smile at people and to be like, hey, how are you? Or to say something to break that ice so they don't think I'm a bitch, I guess. But yeah, I feel like as far as the body confidence is where I lacked and where I was not a good role model for you in that department
I
because
think I
I
always,
wasn't critical of my own body.
I think I always compared myself to you, though. That was nothing that you did. That was just in my own head, and I don't know why, but I feel like that's something that I always did, even as an adult.
Really.
Hmm. When you have the hot mom your whole life, it's like,
yeah, I can see that. I don't want to say I compared myself to my mom, but my brother's friends thought my mom was hot and I was just the ugly little sister.
oh,
I think that's part of the problem though. When your age, MILF started being a big thing for some who the hell know why. Right. But that's when it like really hit, which is so weird. It was, you know, Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a big thing. So you had, you know, even Chase, even the little boys noticed that kind of stuff. But
yeah. Braxton hated
I,
that.
oh, Braxton was the worst. The worst.
She
It's kind of
still to this
funny.
day talks about Ashton trying to look you up to see if you were a stripper.
He was a little perv.
Oh my gosh.
Never stripped. Yeah, but I can understand that. But then on the flip side, like that makes me feel really horrible that I did
Why?
that at a time because that would be that's not okay.
I see Berglund doing those things now, too, though.
To ever compare yourself. I mean, you will always, you're the second generation. You are more beautiful than me. You have everything better. Your kids are always more beautiful than you,
Yeah.
you know?
I see Brooklyn doing those things now, though. And I'm like, I don't even know how you, other than trying to just instill confidence in her, in other ways, but, like whether it's my hair or whatever, like I see her doing those things.
That has always been something that she's been so insecure about from such a age. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she had all the girl cousins that were her same age that, yeah, but Brooklyn has health issues that,
And she still has beautiful hair. It's just not thick.
Yeah.
And you can still be beautiful without thick, long hair, But if it's something that you always wanted and you will probably never naturally have, especially as a little girl, to think that it's like, oh, I think that there's nothing better than feeling confident in your own skin. I think, like, after I had Brixton, not even after my show, because honestly, when I competed, I was like, ooh, I'm a little bit too skinny. I worked so hard to like put on all this muscle, but people who have competed before know, like, you shrink down and you're just so like.
I remember washing you in the shower, like scrubbing the tan off of you in the shower after your show. Do you
Did I give you the ick?
remember that?
Yeah.
No, but I was like, where is she? She's just like a muscle, just this tiny rimmed muscle.
Yeah, I was and that's the thing, like, there's so many people who feel their most confident when they step on stage, and I felt confident for sure. Like, I was like, "This is," you know, in quotes, "the best I've ever looked," but I felt the most confident when I was at the peak of a bulk, when I was eating the most food I had ever eaten. I felt strong, I felt healthy, and I really felt confident. Like, I felt like I could put anything on, and I felt like I looked good in it, and that is such an amazing feeling
Yeah.
to feel that. It's not just, like not just your body, like, getting up and doing your hair, doing makeup sometimes, making sure your teeth are brushed. That's a huge one for people, you would be shocked.
Yeah. I think, well, kind of two things. One, when you are confident, you just show up differently to in every aspect of your life. You just naturally do.
Mhm.
But like even like you said, like putting on makeup and things like that. Like when we first moved here, however many years ago, and I was like in such a depression, and I had put on like so much weight, and I started, like working out and stuff, and there was that daycare within walking distance of the house, and I went and, started working there just so that I could, talk to other people. But I got up in the morning and did my makeup and did my hair, and I would go in there and they would be like, "You get up and you put makeup on every day?" And blah, blah. I was like, "I do it for my mental health. I don't do it for you."
I'm not doing it for the 3-year-olds that I'm watching today.
I am working on my mental health, and if that's what I have to do, that's what I'm going to do. That's how I showed up for myself today. And it does make a difference.
Oh, it sure does.
I think being confident, and I feel like that's so weird because I do feel like I have so much confidence, but yet I do lack when it comes to like the body image confidence. Better than it ever has been, but there's still areas where I can definitely work on it for sure. Even like earlier, I was like, oh, well, I feel like I sit like this with my gym pants, and then they like create that roll when I'm sitting like that, stupid. Who cares? Guess what? We all have skin that if we sit with these tight ass workout pants on, something probably gonna
Roll.
but but as far as the confidence otherwise, especially in my marriage, I guess,
Yeah.
which is the important part to me,
Mhm.
and being a mother and a grandma, like I know that I am so confident in how I am as a wife and a mother and a grandma that I'm like, if Adam ever left, like, good luck.
Lost. Yeah.
And really, that's the thing. I'm like,
You'd be
he
starving.
couldn't. He couldn't find a wife that does what I do for him on a daily basis. I know that. I'm so confident in that. I mean, I couldn't find a husband either. Not taking away from that, but we're talking about us, not them, and I do try and be the best mother, mother-in-law, grandma that I possibly know how to be. And I'm so confident.
I told Luis in the car like yesterday or the day before. I was like, I hope I'm the kind of grandma my mom is, when we get to that point. She is in a league of her own.
I think about this all the time. I'm like, I'm done having kids, so but me having a daughter is not in the picture, even though that's something I've wanted my whole life. But I'm like, I just hope and pray that like I have a relationship with Brixton and Jet's wife or girlfriend, whatever, like us, to where like they can come to me and it's like if they're upset or whatever, they can tell me. And I hope that it's never gonna be something where like their wife pulls them away from me for whatever reason. Like, I mean, I think that there's obviously moms that are way too over the top and like obsessed with their sons, and it's like, hey, this is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've always shown so much love to your kids, but not in like a weird, like she's obsessed with her son's way, Because there's definitely people out there.
We talked about this the other day too, because that's what I said. My mom, yes, like hyped us up. Yes, loved us more than anything. Yes, did everything. But if we were wrong, you told us we were wrong. You put us in our place. Even when that came to stuff like, even if it was stuff with her and Jason, if Jason's wrong, you're gonna tell him. It's
Right.
not like, well, he's my son. The son can't have his ass, so no, you're
I feel like if I'm wrong, though, you don't have a problem telling me, like, even when it comes to certain risks, you're
Look
like,
at it this way,
yeah,
which I'm not always right. I just see it through a different perspective. And so I give you that perspective and you can
Yeah.
do with it what you may, but anyway, this,
it's still crazier. The older that you get, the more that
or that
the older you get, the more you're being like, man, my mom's right. Even me asking you yesterday, like, how did you handle this situation when I know you were just trying to help, but I was just pissy with you because now I'm experiencing that with my daughter. And I know I did that same thing to you, so hell.
it's so hard.
I'm just in the trenches with the teenager right now. I can't imagine an actual teenager.
Yeah,
Hopefully, his life. Hopefully, teenage years are better.
I was like, chasing a conversation in the truck yesterday. We were literally in Pine Valley all day, outside playing, doing fun stuff with Bricks. He's sitting in the back. He'd been a good boy like all day. He's been so good. And me and Jason are chatting. I don't even remember what about. And Brixton's all, Mom, shut up, Mom. And I was like,
excuse me.
oh my gosh. And Jason's like sitting there laughing. And I'm like, don't laugh. And then I'm like, Kate, but that was funny. But still.
Where did I not from?
Yeah. If he doesn't like what you're saying or you're being too loud, he'll say to people at the grocery store, shut up.
Oh no.
We tell Memphis to shut up.
Yeah. It's amazing. Oh, geez. All right. You're going to say.
When she was in between 2 and 3, but she spoke really well. And I was with my sister at the grocery store and she had taken Caitlin off in the basket. And she said they went by someone and Caitlin said something about that lady's fat.
Yeah.
And she said she was dying.
Oh, it's
dying.
the worst.
I was like, oh, wow, pushing her.
Yeah. It was like physically pointed at people before for certain things, and we're like, don't do that. It's amazing the things that come out of their mouths. We were in the bathroom at the school yesterday before Barkland's basketball game, and I was fixing her pony. We were standing in the mirror, and she asked if she could brush my hair because she wanted to make me look like a baddie.
Oh my God.
I have never used that word.
Franklin for sure has used that.
What was the baddie look?
I was like, where did you learn that? She's like, Fifi told me. I was like,
Fifi?
Yeah, Fifi. Oh,
it's probably like, Ava, let me do your hair so it'll look like a baddie.
Yeah. I want to make you look like a baddie, Mom.
That's where it came from.
I know. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Like, oh, kids. It looks nice and warm out there. I want to go Sunday.
I got the heat.
Me too. Okay. However you feel about your body right now, you deserve to feel safe in it, and you deserve to have people around you who hype you up, not humble you, even if it's your siblings. Siblings and your kids, actually.
Kids are brutal.
Yeah.
They are brutal.
This week's tip is to be a hype girl for yourself and for other women. Speak kindly about your body, compliment freely, and if someone ever makes you feel small because of your appearance, remember that says more about them than it ever will about you. Yeah.
Definitely.
2 fingers up to you.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us on today's episode of She Who Thrives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We will be back next Wednesday with a brand new episode. Until then, No matter what you're doing in life, do it to the best of your ability and always strive to thrive. See ya.
See ya.